GM, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday, the 13th of November, and let's get straight into the price action of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we have seen consolidate over the last day. Obviously, we made another new all-time high yesterday. Today, we have continued to consolidate within the range of yesterday. And look, yesterday we saw the first red candle in many days. Looking at my maths here, from around about the 5th, 4th of November was the last time we saw a daily red candle. So that has been 9 days, or well, 8 days. Obviously, yesterday being red. So yes, we have had a pretty nice run, and I was actually hoping we might get a red candle. It's very unlikely that Bitcoin does put in so many green candles back to back. And yeah, for that red candle, obviously, to be a fairly bullish candle, obviously long wick. We've printed what is known as a hammer candle for now, with obviously like a high body long wick. So not too much of a concern right now. Like I say, I'm expecting us probably to consolidate a little bit here, reaccumulate, and make another try higher. Potentially, we go up to this sort of box around this 92,000. But look, I mean, we could run higher up to around 102 if we just go back to my other charts that I have Fibonacci retracements on. We've got Fibonacci level, the 2618 up here at 113. I think that is probably a little bit of a stretch for now, but these are obviously Fibonacci retracements based off the recent consolidation. What I'm going to do on this chart here is just go over to a weekly, and I'm going to look at the retraces from our last cycle. So we're going to go from cycle high down to cycle low, around about 15,500. And what we can see here, our next or our first Fibonacci extension number from that cycle is coming in at 102,000. That's our 1.618. So look, we've obviously got some levels here to work on. We've obviously hit the first one as this extension from the consolidation that we saw this year, which is that, call it 89,000. And what I think we could see now is us look to make our way to this target at this 1.618. Obviously, trading above 100,000 would get a lot of people very excited. It is a big round number, that kind of goes without saying. And for me, that is going to be our next target. If we can break above this trend line, if we can consolidate above 90,000, I do think we will push towards the 102 number. So that's what I'm looking at as a target. And look, let's see where we go from here in terms of this consolidation. But certainly, if Bitcoin can hold above its low from yesterday, and we start to see it take another attempt towards the top of the current range, which is coming in pretty much bang on 90,000, then closes above there, I think we'll lead to this move towards 100,000, and there's going to be your 100,000 Bitcoin, and obviously that's going to make all the headlines. That's going to get everybody hyper bullish. That's going to bring in a load of retail, and then we might get a more sustained correction from that level. And look, if we saw something like a 20% move, that would take us obviously back down towards the 80,000 level. If we saw 25% move, that would take us back down to 75. If we came all the way back, I mean, towards 70,000, basically back to retest our breakout, that would be 30%. I'm not too sure if we'll get that much of a correction, but certainly coming back to either close the gap fill at around 77, or a move down to around about 80, where I'm sure everybody would be talking about, oh, we're going to close the gap. And then if that was not to happen, then that would be another thing that obviously could get traders the wrong side of the market, and yeah, market makers probably have a field day in sort of running price just down to that gap and not actually closing it. But yeah, I'm expecting all sorts of sort of games to be played when we do get up to around the 100,000 level, and I do think that would be an area that there would be some profit taking and probably some interest from sort of large holders in terms of starting to offload some bags. I think 100K is just such a big sort of psychological target and number for many people. Of course, we could just blast through, of course. So, nothing is guaranteed, but that is what I am now looking at for Bitcoin. So obviously in the short term, let's see what we do over the rest of today. I think if we are going to pull back, this is probably the opportunity for the bears today to try and take this low out and push us down further. If not, I probably see some bullish reaccumulation. And look, I don't expect this market to be pulling back for long right now. Obviously, the bullish news feed is just completely going on to overdrive with all this talk around this Bitcoin strategic reserve. That seems to be the big sort of story that's been floated out there. And obviously, people want to front run that. If the USA are saying, well, government is saying they're going to buy this 1 million Bitcoins, then everybody knows at some point they're going to have a massive buyer coming into the market at higher prices, which they're going to be able to sell into. It's that, it's like, who's your exit liquidity, sort of thesis. So yeah, I think let's see where we go from here. But for me, Bitcoin's looking strong, and I think to myself that we could push on a little bit higher from these levels. Looking at Ethereum as well, Ethereum obviously pulling back. So a lot of the altcoin market is really starting to pull back fairly hard. We've seen about a 5% pullback in Bitcoin, and Ethereum so far pulling back about 8.5%. Solana as well on the pullback. We've come down. We've retested to $200 on Solana today, so potentially that's a decent bounce zone for Solana. I have said, look, if things pull back, we could sort of come down lower, retest this trend line, or even come back and retest this previous high here on Solana. But for now, I think it's probably premature to be calling for those targets whilst we hold $200. Just looking at another altcoin that I'm very bullish on is Pepe. So I haven't really spoken about Pepe yet on the GM stream, but Pepe, we've seen this beautiful breakout from Pepe, and now we are obviously sort of pulling back along with the rest of the market. So a decent daily close, contrary to the rest of the market yesterday for Pepe. Quite a pullback now, and we're coming into a level of which has historically been previous resistance. So we've been looking to flip this level into support, and obviously we have more major support down here at the sort of 107s area. But yes, this would essentially, if we got down this low, I think this would be a pretty decent area to pick some Pepe up. Obviously, we'd be sort of back testing the price that we broke out from this descending trend line on. So yeah, Pepe is I think a good one to cover, just because it's a gauge for the entire meme coin space. Obviously, it's my top high conviction pick that I called out in my meme coin video when I did my 10x to 100x meme coin, high conviction meme coins. So if you've not checked out that video yet, definitely check it out, because there's some really good picks in there that I think will do really well. Which are just gonna enhance your returns. I mean, ultimately, I think meme coins have proven to be the beta play this cycle to the crypto market, in terms of you're seeing better performance, especially when the market bounces, the market recovers, and I think meme coins will continue to outperform the rest of the cycle. So certainly, I think if you already have a portfolio, building a portfolio, you probably want to include some high conviction meme coin picks in there, along with your Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and probably one or two other altcoin plays, which I will cover shortly after another meme coin video. So the plan actually for my next video is going to be meme coins, as Solana meme coins. Obviously, I've done the high conviction meme coins on both chains. I've done some low cap Ethereum meme coins, and for my next video, I'd like to do low cap Solana meme coins. There's probably going to be quite a few. I must be in between 15 and 20 low cap Solana positions. So I'm looking to probably just pick the top 10 out of those and make a video on those. So hopefully that'll drop later today. Just looking at the DXY is starting to find a little bit of resistance here. So we spoke about this previous high yesterday, potentially being the next area that we'd look to see some resistance coming in, and it looks like that's happened over the last day. So dollar for now, yeah, similar to Bitcoin remaining strong. It just looks like some consolidation. Potentially, we come up a little bit higher on this to the sort of last sort of overall sort of swing high, but yes, dollar starting to pull back a little bit. Stock market's the same, just consolidating really. Nothing too much of a concern here, and I would expect over the next few days for stocks probably to look to sort of attempt new all-time highs again, along with crypto. So that's the update for today. Obviously, thanks for tuning in. If you have enjoyed the content and today's stream, please do smash the like, hit subscribe if not done so already. Like I say, I've got more meme coin and altcoin content to come soon. Like I say, the next one will be meme coin picks on Solana, so you don't want to miss out on that. So please do subscribe so you get that one, notifications for that, and you see that when it comes out. And have a great day, everybody, and I will see you all later on. GM.